Good, good morning. I'm Grace Galucci, Executive Director of NOACA, and I'm welcoming you this morning. Thank you so much for participating in our EV charging program. You not only are helping to improve the economic development of Greater Cleveland and Northeast Ohio, but you are also improving the quality of life of our residents and our visitors. And by improving quality of life, we are focusing on many attributes, but specifically cleaner air. So again, thank you very much for participating in the work that we are undertaking. And today's session will help you to bring your EV charging system operational. And with that, I turn it over to Ali Makarachi, the project manager.
Thank you. Good morning. Again, thank you for coming. And this is our second fee structure we had in May. That at the time when we started this in the conversation about the fees and all this, we hadn't installed maybe one or nothing, but now we have got several of the locations have been installed, and now we are coming people, asking the question of how much they're going to charge. So this is the second one. As we mentioned in the May, hopefully every 6 months, we will have this get together and like a community, we talk and see the problems. And as we go along and installing more, and the phase 2 is going to start. So we're going to be more NOACA is going to install more chargers. So starting from and I'm hoping that everybody can hear me or who hasn't attended. So yes. So this is as I mentioned, this is the November 2024, and this is the second meeting of the fee structures. What you see here is what we estimated, and is not we are recommending this kind of calculation for, you're gonna do that. NOACA is not supposed to set any price, any fee for you, for any based on the partner agreement. Is not our job. Is because we don't know some of the information that utility bills you get and that kind of thing. But this is just hopefully this is going to help you when you set remind you from the first meeting and from the partner agreement. There's expenses for each chargers, electric charge, then operational costs, maintenance costs. And the other side of the coin is the revenue, which is the charging fees. Now, based on the partner agreement, these two should be equal, and they basically break even. Any community should not make any profit out of this but it should be, the fee should cover all the costs, no loss, no gain. So I'm just gonna show you some assumptions, and because these are the calculations you will see in the next few slides is based on these assumptions. The first one, I have assumed that, and based on what I have heard and I've searched through this, is when we talk about fully charged battery for each car, some of the vehicles, some of the manufacturers, they go smaller batteries and it goes to 150 miles. Some of them go to even over 350 miles with a full charge battery. Miles per kilowatt is like what we see in the cars, mile per gallon. Here's a mile per kilowatt. Again, is different, but based on the years ago when we were doing the research, 2019, we come up with this kind of number. So I assume 3.33 for each kilowatt of the miles car can drive. Cost, I checked actually last night my home bill, and see how much we are paying for the electricity, and it was about 15 cents, 8 and to 15 cents, the tax and everything. So that was my assumption was 11 to 15 cents per kilowatt hour. Then what you get, if you look at it, the flow.com, and you can see, I will show you, you can see the locations, and then is a 7.2 kilowatt for the L2 and 50 kilowatts. Again, these are estimate of the DC fast charge. Flow charges 15% admin when anybody, any fees, anybody uses, put the money there, it goes to the flow, and then flow charges 15%, then returns the money to the community. And I assume the same thing when flow has got 15% charges, so we have got 15% charges for the community in terms of the staff, in terms of the maintenance, operation, all these kind of things. Then there's a 5-year warranty is optional and is not a, you don't have to, it's not required. Because the equipment comes to 2 years warranty, and that's part of the anything happens, the warranty covers 2 years. But if you want to have another 5 years warranty, that's again, it comes with a 10 to 15%, but that's optional. Based on these assumptions, I did this, you will see. First of all, as a benchmark, you can see what we are paying in terms of the gas. So usually we look at the gas in terms of the cars when you're using gas about mile per gallon, but there's a 20, 25. You have heard this, people say, I drive, my car goes 30 miles per gallon in the highway, 20 miles in the urban streets. So I assume between 20 and 30, then the cost today, again, is around about $3. So we are talking about, again, the assumption is $3. Then taking this for different type of the mile per gallon for 150 miles or 350 miles. The cost gets around this numbers. So we take not the average, the median value of this, and we talk about 28.75. It's not this is just a benchmark. We come back to this later on to compare with the electric cars and the gas combustion cars. Okay. So as I said, for the L2 chargers, based on the kilowatt, we are talking about as I mentioned, the assumption is 11 cents to 15 cents per each kilowatt. Now that's if you go for 150 or 350, and the assumption is 3.33 miles per gallon. If you do the calculation, it comes with these numbers for fully charged battery. If somebody wants to charge on an L2, 7-8 hours, it comes with this kind of numbers. But for each kilowatt, if we take the median of these, again, numbers, so just the basic charge is at 13 cents. If we add 15% to it, one is a flow charge, the other one is a maintenance and operation. So this becomes 17 cents per kilowatts. If you add the optional part of it, it comes to 19 cents per kilowatts. Then on the right, the last column, you will see the full charge fees, which starts from $9 basic with a maintenance $11.90, then it goes to $13.27. Compared with the gas, which was about $28. If you go to the DCFC, I put down up there, you can see watt equal amp times volt. That's from my first course in the physics I had years and years ago when I was much younger. And the people pay for energy, not pay for the power. So that's what you have to remember when we say DCFC is a faster charging, but end of the day is a kilowatt we are talking about, not the, we're talking about watts, not the, Then if we do kilowatt because of this faster, the amp is faster there and the current is going. So we talk about 0.2 to 0.3, 20 cents and 30 cents per kilowatt hour. Then the fully charged comes with a higher prices. We expect that $9 to $31, $31.50. So exactly the same thing we do. So we are talking about median kilowatt hour is a 0.25. Then adding same thing, 30% for the charging of the flow and the maintenance and operation. We are talking about 33 cents per kilowatt. If we add warranty, we are talking about 36 per kilowatts, 36 cents per kilowatts. Again, the right-hand side, the fully charged fee, it goes from 17 to $24 for a full charge. These are again based on the median value of this. So this is based on the kilowatt. Some people can do, they want to do it based on the kilowatt hour, or they want to do it. Next slides are going to show if you want to do it based on the hour of the usage. So if you go with the hour, now for L2, if you do the 7.2, again, we come back with a roughly a number of hours required is 10 hours. If you go with that, the median hourly comes to 88 cents. Adding the charges, adding the admin and all operational maintenance cost, you come with a $1.14. With an optional warranty, you get to 1.27. But fully charged, same value for the L2, from $9 to $13. If you go to the DCFC, obviously the required hours to get the full charge is 1.5 hours. Then increases to hourly to 11.5, and it goes with adding all these extra charges, it goes to $16. Again, right-hand side, we have got the same as you saw in the previous slides for a full charge from $17 to $24. The time in terms of the charging is the only thing is different. So comparing that, so I'll come back to the gas. Comparing the gas car right now, which I said between 20 and 30 miles per gallon, that's the most cars are running now based on this. Median gas for 250 miles, if you $28 are calculated on the median value, come back is 11.5 cents per mile. Then L2 fee charges is 5 cents per mile. Obviously, if a user charges at home is less than this, this is because it's got this 5 cents, it's got some charges of the maintenance and all this we added to, but if they charge home is less than 5 cents, probably is 3-4 cents, something like this. So then for DCFC, the cents is 9.9 cents per mile. Is about less than the 11.5 for the gas. So as I'm going back to the first slide, we'll talk about how much we charge and how much, how much we collect the fee, then what happens in terms of the charges, and we have to come to the break even. So charging cost for L2 for a session of 4 hours, based on the previous calculation, $1.14 per hour. So it comes back to $4.5. If we assume the 2 charge per day and assuming only 180 days per year, we are talking about 360 times $4.5. The revenue from the charger is going to be $1,620. This is our estimate, this is our calculation, our assumptions. If you change assumption, these numbers is going to change. I'm just showing you some examples. You can repeat your own based on what you pay and based on what you see in your chargers, how many people are going, using that. So that's the revenue for L2. How much it costs? Electric charges at 13 cents per kilowatt. Active electric user per day, 4 hours, we said, plus times 2 vehicles, 8 hours. If you multiply this by 7.2 kilowatt, then you come back with $1,348. Then adding the admin and operation 30% is $404. Altogether is $1,752. Compared with $1,620. So it's not exactly coming to the break even, but as I said, this is an example that you can, use different numbers and you come, but that's a kind of comparison you need to do. And on the right-hand side, on the top, you can see the passive when they use the charges is not used is very little in terms of the electricity and everything. So if it's not used, you don't turn it off, but if it is on, it costs very little in terms of the kilowatt hour. If you go to the fast charging, For a half an hour session, we are talking about $7.50. Then again, 2 day, similar, 180 days. Then you multiply, it comes with the revenue comes to 2,700. And we go to see how much it costs this charger. For you is gonna be, again, 0.25, half an hour, 2 vehicles, an hour, then 50 kilowatts hour, then you multiply that, this comes 2,250. And that, oops, that is 600, doesn't show this under the, but it's a 600, adding to 2,250 is a 2,925. Again, compared with this one, we are 200, in terms of revenue, 200 short. So this is two different. So I talked to Flow and I asked them, and we have shown this one last time. I asked them what kind of, the charger people can put the fee there. They have got different type of the chargers. They can total session $9. You can put the total session fee for $8, and it shows the graph how it's going from the first hour, and then, or you can do it for the L2, for example, $2 or $11. So it varies from the $2 to $11, depends on the how many hours, what type of chargers. But these are the available in the Flow when you want to set up the chargers. These are the available. What you can have, you can set your own, and doesn't have to be exactly like this. But I was talking to the Rose, and I asked her to give us some kind of, guideline. These are the guidelines from the Flow. So when we talk about maintenance, these maintenance tasks are, we showed this slide last time. We are talking about visual inspection, cleaning, charger software updates, testing, function checks. This is kind of, and once we send you these slides, you will have those linked there. We got this from this website. Again, for maintenance, the recommendation from the FHWA is about $400 annually. If I go back to what I calculated, is one of them was 400, where is it? 400, the other one's a 600. So roughly that's what is around that guideline, $400 annually per charger on the main. Obviously the DCFC is gonna be higher a little bit, as my calculation showed is a bit higher, but generally that's around the $400 for maintenance. And that maintenance cost, as your partner agreement says, is a responsibility of the site host. And these are the website. You can go to the websites and look at how is the charger from Flow and how you do that. And if you do go to the, I don't know that we can do it here, but the rest of the resources and tips are here. And that's basically the guideline for you. But any discussion, any questions?
I had a question for clarification. What about the maintenance costs associated with the warranty? How are we incorporating those into the prices?
The warranty, there are two types of the warranty. One is a 2 years warranty, it comes with a charger. So, but that's again the 15%. Let me go back to my calculation here. The 15%, I thought is similar to what the Flow charges, but the other one, the warranty, is optional.
No, I understand that it's optional, but people can only, the entities can only charge what they're actually incurring in expenses. And so whatever the cost of the maintenance agreement, whether it's the 2 year, the 5 year, whatever, can be broken down into its unit cost and then added to this, as
Yes.
opposed to estimating a 15%.
What I heard is a $900 for L2 chargers for 5 years. I divided this one. DC fast chargers, I heard this morning, 14,000, yes. But for the L2 is a 900, and I thought that 900 divided by, 5 years, it comes to 25 cents for each hour of usage. But I heard that just this morning, I was talking to Mike, and he said it's a 14,000. That's
14,000?
14,000 for 5. 3,000. So it's about 2,700 a year. That's what I heard this morning. So the 900 for 5 years, it comes with about 25 cents. If we can add to the user, but 14,000, I have to go back and look at the calculation and see where we charge this. Fast charging is a bit more expensive.
Yeah, I think what we need to be clear about is how much they need to charge in order to recover all of the costs.
Yeah, so probably, the question I have is that the calculations that I was planning on using to come up with our cost was to take that 14,600 and divide it over some denominator. And that, the denominator we picked was kilowatt hours. So
Right.
could you explain with the usage examples that you've just shown, what does that look like? What would be the annual amount of kilowatt hours that would be expected during a year that we would need to break those 2,900 hours over?
Okay.
You understand my
Yes. This is the calculated answer this slide. We are talking about half an hour charger session for the fast charge. So you don't expect somebody comes there and put the car in the charger and goes for 8 hours. That doesn't, it's a waste of time. So if you talk about half an hour session, somebody through traffic coming and charging there and passing by. So if you take the half an hour and if you use 2 sessions per day, and not everybody is going to use every day, not going to be used. So it's 180 days per year. Your denominator is 360. So whatever you charge, you have to divide it by 360. If you go back to next slide is 50 kilowatts times 1 hour, then 180 days, 180 days of usage, every day 1 hour. Then every time they use 50 kilowatts hour. So based on the 50, because the fast charging, the one on the L2 is a 7.2 charger. That's but this is a 50 charge. So that comes with your denominator. You can divide this whatever with the 2,250. Now,
So the L2 standard charger typically uses about 50 kilowatt hours.
no, that's a DC fast charger. The L2 comes at 7.2. Again, if you go to flow.com, it shows you for the location, how much, what type, and how much is that. Richard, can we show this the internet here, or we can't? If we can show, not just as a link to the present. Let me just. That's good. I can control from here to, yeah. So if you go to flow.com and they find you will see the. So you go to close to our location. As I zoom in, I can see some of the, more closely. So if I click on any of these, it gives you the type. And it says to you how many kilowatts is, what type is that? Unfortunately, I can't see from here. And it says you J's, I think 7.22 kilowatt. So for any locations, so is that yours, Mike, is in the,
But no, ours is not.
yours is not here because you haven't been commissioned, yes.
Maybe an easier way to say it out would be, if a 5-year, one-time cost is 14,600. Is there a way that we can come up with those calculations and say, and over that 5-year period, based on this level of usage, you would use, I don't know, whatever, 200,000 kilowatt hours or
Yeah.
15,000 or whatever, so, I could do a simple calculation, 14,600 divided by the number of hours, comes up with the component piece that the warranty needs to tack on to the cost of electricity.
I think we can come up with that.
Yeah.
I think we should come up with that for you all so that it's all consistent across our users. So we'll come up with ranges that help you actually come up with your pricing.
So we should not be including in the cost that we're capturing, the replacement cost of the station. In other words, the station, in essence, given to us, costs about 150,000. 10 years down the road, at the end of its estimated useful life, it might cost $200,000 to replace. That $200,000 should not have any impact.
That is correct. Yes, you can't charge that because the federal government looks at it as they've already paid that upfront capital cost.
But if you do based on this, the fast charging, we are, that 50 kilowatts times 180, we're talking about 900 kilowatts. So 14 times 900, 14 divided by 14,600 divided by 900. This is $16 for this, if you want to put it on the users, about $16, if I'm right, so.
But Ali, let's go ahead and develop a scale, a
Yeah.
matrix for the users so that
Yes.
they can feel comfortable using what we've given them, and it can have the variables in it for each organization's type. Just so we'll come up with some,
Yeah.
some charging scheme.
Yeah, so far I was thinking of, basically the calculation was based on $900. This morning was a 14,000. We have to go back and, yes, we have to look into it and see how much it's gonna be. That's for a fast charge. We have got all double, yes, 2 ports. Yes,
But I think the 900 would make sense because if you're charging, yeah, on the one side, right?
the equipment is a 1 but 2 ports. The equipment is a 1 charger, but it's got 2 ports. Yeah. Yeah.
Or the DC fast charge has 2 ports, but that's just for multiple uses.
Yes.
Can't do 2 vehicles. Just, they're optional, they're different charging ports. So it's got 2 chargers, it appears as if you could maybe charge 2 vehicles at the same time.
But you can't.
You can't, because they're 2 different sizes.
So therefore, for that particular charging, it has to be the whole amount.
So 2 cars can get charged at the same time?
They cannot.
DC fast charge.
Not DC, on the L2?
L2, yes.
Okay. On a DC, no, you can't because it's for 1 charger, yes.
There are 2 ports that come off. It looks just like, hold up to it, looks like you could charge.
No, it's just 1. Then the next phase, we have got 2 chargers, DCFC chargers in 2 ports can work, but here, no. But L2 can work.
it's a different shape. So it's so that you can serve multiple vehicles.
One of the X connector, National North American Standard, other one's Cat. Or Europe. So that one gets more.
The two alternative plugs that you could, I'm sorry? No. You can only use one of them at the same time. It gives you the option to use one or the other, but it only allows you to do it one car at a time.
Holly, you mentioned that there's the 2-year warranty, which is included. Does the 2-year warranty basically cover the same scope of things that the 5-year warranty would cover? And if that is the case, is that the case, I guess, is my favorite question.
I think Jose can say that.
It does not.
Okay, so just for clarification too, the warranty that is included is a basic, warranty for the charging equipment.
Okay.
It doesn't cover, vandalism, and in the case of DC fast charger, maintenance. The performance warranty is, full coverage, vandalism, if the car were to hit the charger, cover that. It's a full, like, no questions asked warranty. That's why it's performance. And two, the statements of the pricing, that's all performance warranty costs. You could do extended warranty as well. So the extended warranties are substantially less.
The extended warranties are basically just taking the 2-year warranty
And extended,
and extending it.
correct, which is parts and labor
Okay.
for normal performance warranty covers pretty much anything.
Jose, what is the cost for the extended?
For the level 2 stations, the extended warranty for the extended 3 additional years is $180
Per port.
per port.
Okay.
$60 per year. Performance warranty, as was stated, is $900 for 5 years.
It's been a minute since I've looked at this contract. What is our obligation to NOACA and or this grant program for the warranties? It sounds like the charger, it comes with a 2-year warranty. Are we then expected to purchase additional warranty?
No.
Okay,
You don't have to, but, based on like the public, the issue with charging stations. Sorry about that. So it's always good just to maintain that warranty, even this the extended warranty for cheaper costs. Just to extend it to make sure that it's operational for the duration of the lifespan of the charger.
And that's what NOACA would recommend, although you do not have to purchase the extended warranty or the performance warranty because of the issue of maintenance, the parts and labor being covered on the extended warranty and the cost being relatively low. That's what we would recommend at the, at the least if you want a performance, that's a different issue.
Sure. Yeah, so it does cover parts and labor, is what it covers for normal wear and tear. And they're proactive monitoring the stations. So they might reach out to you guys and say, hey, we see an issue. We want to send a tech out, and you guys might not even know. So they're proactively monitoring it. For the DC flash charger, each year of extended warranty is $650. And you could do 3 additional years for $1,300 to match your 5 years of software.
That is basically year for you would be.
Correct. If you do the 3-year, it's always more cost effective to do multi-year. It should cover basic travel, like within a zone or mileage. Does it have that?
Comparison I have, basic warranty, extended warranty,
Okay.
that's parts and
I could check in for that. Clarify that.
You mean trouble for the tech to come and fix it? I'm not clear on this one.
just flow comparison to the performance, that was difference. Comparison to performance warranty, basic warranty, extended basic.
So is it trouble for tech people to come and fix it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2 hours is covered, okay. Oh, under the performance.
Yeah. My question is, if there is an issue with our charger, and perhaps we don't have a warranty, I don't know what we're going to do. I'm just trying to, hypothesize. Is only a flow certified person allowed to work on the charger, or if we have a capable electrician, can they?
I could get that clarified with Flo, but I believe, especially with the fast CC unit, the level 2s are more, if something's wrong with it, it's either a cord replacement or the whole station, they'll just go to swap it out. So I believe it's going to be a Flo technician, a Flo certified technician.
But only a flow certified technician can work on it?
Correct, to keep your warranty up. Now, if you decide not to carry your warranty over or extend it, they were certainly could help you diagnose the station and send you a part with you just purchasing the part, and then your electrician could swap that out.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So we're calculating these fees based on certain assumptions about usage. So what's the expectation for how often do we evaluate that, change our fees so that we break even?
Well, the expectation is probably every 6 months or every year, because end of the 5 years, and because we have got 5 years partner agreement, we expect to have after maybe first 6 months, not to be sure how much you're gonna charge, how much it's gonna use it. We don't know, you don't know. So, but end of the every year, we have to come with a break even. So our recommendation is every 6 months and every year. And I try to have these meetings probably every 6 months to have a conversation on this, but every 6 months I suggest you would go through your bills, utility bills, and see how much you've been used, because these are provided through the website flow, and it gives you the detail of the, who used it, how long you've been used. So then you can see, is it your charging? Is your charges okay? It covers your cost, or maybe you are charging high and not people coming there because of the high cost of the charging the car. So that's something, is everything, not only us, you, talking to FHWA is a new, and for everybody is a new phenomenon, and we are just trying to find out. It's not like, it will be everybody, this conversation is gonna come up with some clarification for everybody in the next 6 months, a year or two. But we started this one as a pioneer, and then you will see we are coming with these
Ali,
ideas.
does the agreement have a specific one, though? You're saying 6 months or a year. Do they do it 6 months or a year? Is there a
Agreement
specific?
doesn't have anything, is it 5 years?
Okay, so it's
but-
5 years, which would mean it's at whatever interval you want. But we would recommend at least annually.
And then to follow up on that, so if we inadvertently charge more than we should, do we, like, are we responsible for making that up, or how does that work?
I don't think so. I don't think so. You're responsible if you try, as I'm saying, this is the first 6 months, first year. But if you notice after the first bills and your revenue is much higher, expectation is to bring it down, the charges,
Right.
the fees. Otherwise, you're gonna get, more and more in the end of the 5 years. But is it, that's something is after, year is good time to check and, see what.
The objective again is to not generate a profit. So if you did generate a profit the first year, even though it would be inadvertent, the idea probably would be to lower the cost even beyond the correct cost to sort of put that revenue back into usage.
Okay. And then a related question, is there any leeway in this to intentionally charge less than the cost? So we
Yes.
have, okay,
You can even have it to be free.
okay, so that
So
is allowed.
That is absolutely allowed, free up, it's just that there's a ceiling of the cost because you cannot generate a profit, but below that, it is up to the individual jurisdiction if they want to charge less.
Okay, thanks for clarifying.
Sure.
Yeah, what is the administration cost that's showing there?
There's a 15% flow charges, because all the charges doesn't come directly to your account, it goes to flow, and flow, it cuts 15%, then sends back to you. If say I pay $1, they take 15 cents to flow, then send 85 cents to you.
We should probably add some kind of administrative cost for the individual jurisdiction as well. So in addition to the 15% that flow charges in our calculations, we should consider a reasonable amount of overhead to manage the station, which is usually another 15%.
That's what I put, the 15% for the flow, 50% for the
Yeah,
jurisdiction for the maintenance,
Yep.
for the $900 or whatever, $1,400 roughly. Again, these are not what, but is it something that you can?
what is the
take it-
15, 15 and 10?
15, the 15 is the first 15 is the flow, second 15 is the maintenance, O&M, then 10 is a warranty, extra warranty, which is now, based on what I heard this morning, is wrong for the fast charging.
Right,
So
but
the
what I'm
FP is
saying
probably-
is an administrative overhead cost,
That's the
not
second
O
15.
and M, but O and M is,
That's in covers the admin and all this.
so not really O and M. O and M, I think, is the 10% with the
No,
warranty.
O&M is a warranty, the extra warranty, the additional
Right,
warranty.
that's the O and M.
Yeah,
Right, so then what's the other 15?
first 15 is a flow,
Mm-hmm.
the second 15 is the O&M, and the third one, 10% is the warranty. But again, this 10% is wrong now, based on what I'm hearing, 14,000 or something like this is not accurate 10%. But again, these are not the what, I'm not just to, compared to last time, 6 months ago, I corrected my calculation and I adjusted based on the more information. Now I have to, probably next 6 months, I have to adjust as well. Yes.
I just wanted to add, you have to decide on the warranty before you start using your machine.
Correct.
So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Just a dollar scale, it would be okay to charge $1.30 because 15 cents of that or about goes to flow, and then the other 15 cents would be justifiable just for our administrative costs of how to manage it.
Right, and then plus the warranty.
Plus the performance.
Yes.
Or if you purchase the extended warranty, correct? Not the existing warranty, not the 2-year, but if you prefer, if you purchase any additional warranty, that should also be covered in the charges. If you want,
Spend anything, that piece
correct,
for all 5 years.
correct. And again, the way you would want to amortize that, and we'll come up with the calculation here, but you could do that over the full 5 years, or you could just price it into the second, phase of it when it's the 3rd, 4th, and 5th year. But I would probably recommend you just do it all at once.
And in terms of your 5-year partner agreement is from the day of the operation of the chargers, not from the day is not stated on the agreement, because the agreement must sign in 2022, but most of them now is starting 2024 to basically late 2024 to be operational. So that should be, I asked our lawyer and she told me that should be changed from the operational date you start, actually the charges start. So if you start next month, that 5 years starts from next month, not from the 2022 when you sign the contract, or your mayor signed the agreement contract.
Is there language we should use for outreach about these stations to let the community know that they're available as far as where the funding is coming from, that sort of thing?
That's a great question. NOACA is looking at doing a press release and perhaps a ribbon cutting once either a certain number of them get done. But I recognize that you would need them earlier if you're on the earlier set of those that are operational. So we can come up with that language and submit that to you.
And what is our commitment to have these? Do we need to have them beyond 2 years,
So your commitment to,
having these charging stations? Is it only for the 2 years or is it for 5 years?
once they're in your
Mhm.
installed, it's the 5 years.
5 years, okay.
And we're not going to come back after 5 years and take them. It's just that the useful life is the 5 years. For our purposes of the grant. Meaning we're not going to come back after the 5 years to you.
You have to turn on.
Correct. Correct.
Manufacturer's warranty is only for 2 years.
Correct. And then you can get that extended warranty for $180. Which again, NOACA would recommend you doing at least that.
have you started started to turn it on, and what are you charged?
I would imagine everybody here has not, or they wouldn't be here.
No,
I
I
was gonna
know
say, yeah.
Andreas started charging 24 cents, right? Yeah, I know one or two, 24 cents per kilowatts. That's L2. Yeah. Okay.
And when was it commissioned? And it sort of probably goes back to people don't necessarily know about it. Mm. Right. So we will commit to getting you that in the next 10 days. I think we can easily come up with that and submit that out to you. Any further questions or? Okay, and I concur. Time is of the essence. The faster we can support you in the operationalizing of your units, then the better off we all are, and the quicker we can gain the benefits of cleaner air.
But you're gonna be providing us with some
We're gonna give you,
analysis,
I'm sorry?
some analysis of,
Yeah, we're gonna give you a chart, and the chart's gonna have some scale and, based on kilowatt hours or based on something, if you're being charged 33 cents per kilowatt hour, plus we add all these different things, then you should charge this.
Mhm.
And we'll give you a couple different scenarios so that the scenarios can fit whatever your situation is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
And we will
Appreciate your
send you
time.
this presentation, like the previous one we sent and the 6 months ago in May. We send you this one again. This is it's just for information. It's not any recommendation, anything, just to see how we calculate it. You can do the same calculation yourself and do the same.
Yes. Yeah, we'll give you all the options and several scenarios of what the charging could be based on. And then that will be an official NOACA recommendation or usage, so that way everybody's kind of got the same baseline if they want to use what we're recommending.
I do have one more question. So regarding like phase 2, what's the timeline for that?
So phase 2, we just completed the agreement with Federal Highway System, and we are currently preparing the RFP for
So it probably is gonna be first 6 months after 2024, 5, starting the installing and bidding and then advertising. All this is gonna be.
Contact form with each municipality? Okay.
An online form we fill out.
Exactly. I'm sorry, you're with,
Me.
which municipality?
City of Brook Park.
Okay.
And I,
Wadsworth, okay.
yeah, I got mine and we completed it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's all right. And you're with whom, I'm sorry? Lorraine County Community College, okay. Okay, great. Okay, there we go. All right, we're waiting on that one. We've got that one installed, so. And you, sir?
Oh, Warren Richardson, City of.
Oh, Warren, okay. All right, good. All right.
We are here. Any questions?
We'll stay until everybody leaves.